somewhere on the World Wide Web and not just on our laptops. Yes, it would. It would be very cool. So cool. All right, so let's learn how to do that. We already have all this code on GitHub. Wouldn't it be cool if GitHub actually offered a service to host our stuff for us, just like they host our code? Behold, GitHub Pages, pages.github.com, websites for you and your projects, hosted directly from your GitHub repository. Yeah, that sounds easy. It is. It's really, really easy. All you do is you have a branch named gh-pages in your repository, and that will get served. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can do that right from the GUI. So on your repository for Dinoplasty here, go to Settings, scroll down a bit, and you'll see GitHub Pages. And it says GitHub Pages is currently disabled. Select a source below to enable GitHub Pages for this repository. Pull down the drop down. And I can either, I can just serve straight from the master branch, which is fine for this one. So I don't even have to do that. So if I just clicked there and said save, it would start serving it. I'm going to show you how to do it with from another branch though. Because in practice, when you do have stuff that's live and actually in production somewhere, you will typically have a whole separate branch for the live stable version. You won't be screwing around in master while people are actually using your stuff. Even if you never deploy that, losing that code would be really bad. So you work on a separate branch. Many places, master is the production branch and you work on a separate development branch. But the way GitHub Pages works is ideally you put it on a whole separate branch just for GitHub Pages. So that's how we're going to do it. So we've never really talked about branches in much detail. So the idea is in your history, you have all these commits, one commit, another commit on top of that, another commit on top of that. Aha, and at this point, I decide I'm going to branch off of that. I'm going to create a separate branch over here for GitHub Pages. Maybe I even make some more commits over here. Meanwhile, I keep committing to master. And you just have two copies of the repository on separate branches, and you can switch back and forth between them. If you decide you want to merge them later, you can do that. You could merge GitHub Pages back into master. You could merge it the other way. But you can have multiple branches of your code at once, each with their own commits. So what we're going to do is branch off at this point, wherever we are in the history, create a new branch, and it'll have everything that's on master so far. But then it'll have its own separate history from that point forward. Pretty easy. Git checkout. That command does several things. Among other things, it checks out another branch. Since this branch doesn't already exist, I create it with -b, and I give it a name, and that name must be gh-pages. That is a magic branch name as far as GitHub is concerned. If you name it that, you don't even have to do this thing in the settings. We never even have to go to the settings page. It'll just start working. So what would happen if I tried to push now? Fatal, the current branch, gh-pages, has no upstream branch. So yeah, our master branch is synced with GitHub, but every time you create a new branch, you have the option to sync that with any remote that you want. It doesn't have to be the same one that your other branches are synced with. And with any branch. Heck, we could sync it with master for some reason if we wanted to, but that would be silly. So we're actually going to run the command that it says right here. Git push --set upstream, which is the same as -u, origin, gh-pages. So we're pushing to which remote? Origin, which we said is GitHub a long time ago. Which branch on the remote? gh-pages. You wouldn't have to push to a branch with the same name as the branch name you use locally. But it's easier to keep track of it if you do. So, yep, let's run this exact command. And because of --set upstream, now if I were to say git push again, it knows which remote and which branch to push to. That's one of the two commands that we run when we start a new one. We run a command to add the origin in the first place, and then we add another one to tell it which branch to push to. So now if we look up here on GitHub, refresh, I see there's a second branch under there for GH pages. Whoop-de-doo, how do I get to it? This information is also on the GitHub pages site here, and there's a link on the website for today to that stuff. But here's how you do it. The URL is, well, where did I push it to anyway? Yeah, okay, XTBC. Your GitHub username, darn it, .github.io, not .com. So your username, .github.io / the name of your repository. Behold. And it works. Ooh. And you'll notice your local host or your local storage from your version isn't here, right? Because that's tied to the protocol and to the host. So you have a whole separate set of data. And it's not easy. So now, congratulations, your code is live and everyone can get to it. Except nobody knows it's there, right? So let's do one more thing that I forgot to do with the morning. Go ahead and copy the URL of the live version. Go back to your repository. And notice where it says, no description, website, or topic is provided. Click on the edit button over here on the right. And where it says website, go ahead and paste that in. A catalog of dinosaurs organized by diet. As you might guess, this makes it really easy to check your homework if you do this. So we will learn how to do this with the React app too. It's actually, it would be pretty dang complicated to manually deploy things to GitHub pages with React for reasons that we'll see in a day or two. But there's another way that makes it pretty easy, manages it for us. Questions about that?